Standing on an empty piece of land, looking at nothing but grass and dirt, building a home from scratch feels entirely overwhelming. That is exactly what it feels like when you begin your journey to financial freedom, starting from absolute zero. It is a completely normal instinct to look at that empty dirt and wish the finished house would just appear overnight, fully furnished and ready for you to move in. But if you try to build a house overnight by throwing materials together without a plan, a strong wind will eventually knock it flat. Treating your money the same way, by looking for a lucky break or chasing a quick shortcut, almost always leads to the exact same collapse of whatever progress you manage to make. True, lasting wealth has very little to do with luck. It is the result of following a deliberate blueprint and laying down one brick at a time, month after month. By letting go of the fantasy of getting rich quickly, you can finally adopt the mindset of a builder. This slow, intentional process is the only proven way to turn an empty plot of land into an estate that will last. The first pillar of this builder's mindset is patience. Laying down a financial foundation is a heavy project, and you have to measure your progress in decades, not in days. This chart shows the reality of how money grows over time. Notice how the concrete blocks at the bottom gather very slowly in the early years. It can feel like nothing is happening, but over time, the growth you earn begins to earn its own growth, and those blocks multiply rapidly. The real world, however, is not a perfectly smooth line. There will be times when investment prices swing up and down wildly, like a storm hitting your construction site. For an inexperienced builder, these drops trigger panic, and they abandon their long-term plans right before the math actually starts working in their favor. To survive those dips, you need the second pillar, discipline. Discipline is simply the mental bridge between picturing your finished goal and physically doing the work to achieve it. In practice, discipline requires a daily choice. You are actively choosing your long-term security over buying whatever you happen to want right now. The most effective way to do this is to automate your savings, moving your materials to safety before you have the chance to spend them on a momentary desire. When you combine the patience to wait through the slow periods with the daily discipline to save your materials, a massive financial structure will eventually be completed. Building takes energy, so the third pillar you need is purpose. You have to clearly define the specific personal reason you are enduring the hard work of building wealth in the first place. Having a deeply personal why, like providing a safe environment for your family or buying back your own time, acts as an emotional anchor. When the process feels impossibly slow or difficult, that anchor keeps you from drifting away from your goal. However, a new psychological danger appears once you experience your first taste of success. You finish building the house, but suddenly you find yourself wanting an extra floor just because you can afford the wood. This is the trap of the moving goalpost. As the total value of everything you own grows, your desires tend to grow right alongside it. It becomes highly tempting to take unnecessary risks with the stable assets you've already built, just to fund a larger lifestyle that you didn't even want a year ago. To protect yourself, you have to clearly define your concept of enough. True financial freedom doesn't mean owning everything that's for sale. It means reaching a point where you need nothing more to be happy. Defining your exact financial finish line is mandatory. Without it, you will spend your entire life working as a stressed employee to your own endless desires. Once you know where your finish line is, you can start thinking past it. A true master plan extends beyond your single lifetime to create wealth that lasts for generations. Leaving a legacy is a two-part process. You are not just handing down physical things like land or pieces of companies. You must also pass down the critical wisdom and the blueprints required to manage those things. If you gift a sprawling, completed estate to someone who has never learned how to fix a leak in the roof, the structure will eventually fall apart. Giving money without teaching how to use it is a recipe for disaster. And to teach well, you must continually educate yourself. The world around your foundation will constantly change as laws regarding money shift and new types of things to buy, like different types of property or digital currencies, become available. A permanent legacy requires pairing the physical assets you acquire with a mindset of lifelong learning. You must always be willing to stay curious. Time to turn these ideas into action. Here is your concrete 90-day roadmap. Step 1. Audit. Weigh your assets against your debts to see what's truly yours. Step 2. Automate. Set automatic transfers so materials are added monthly. Step 3. Advocate. Negotiate bills or salary to speed up your build. Step 4. Educate. Master one specific financial topic. You are the sole architect of your future. By taking these specific actions today, you separate yourself from the financial struggles that most people face. Your journey to freedom begins now.